Today I'm doing a full face of Lisa Eldridge's makeup techniques to do my going out makeup. So the first step is creating a glow sandwich. You start by adding a liquid highlighter to all the areas where you want to glow. For me, that's on my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose. This technique actually ties itself perfectly with the second technique, which is the skin patchwork technique. I'm using the Seamless Skin Tint to provide one super light layer of coverage all over my skin. And what this does is really just eliminate any redness and even out my skin tone. And then just in the areas where I want a little bit more coverage, I'm using the Seamless Skin Foundation, adding it to the areas where I need extra coverage, like my under eyes where I feel like I have some pretty dark circles. I tend to get a little red on my cheeks, so I'm also just bringing it there, and the sides of my nose, adding a little bit to my chin. So the skin patchwork technique is really just to add coverage where you need it, so I'm not just putting foundation all over my face. A bonus technique that I learned from Lisa Eldridge is to always keep a clean brush nearby. You can just use to blend. It will actually pick up any excess product that you have on your skin just so it doesn't look heavy, which actually leads me into the third technique, which is light layers. She's always emphasized that she prefers putting on makeup in light layers, so there's really no need to pile on the product because it can be built up. So the next technique is pinpoint concealing. This is the Pinpoint Concealer from her brand. The whole point of this concealer is to add a little bit more coverage to smaller areas of the face. So we have the patchwork technique. Now I have some little bits of discoloration that I definitely want to cover. This is the pinpoint concealing technique. I feel like my skin just looks airbrushed right now. As part of Lisa's glow sandwich technique, now that I'm done with all the creams, I'm just going to set the powder in the areas that I want to stay matte throughout the day. Now I'm adding a light layer of blush. I'm just adding this to my cheekbones. So to wrap up the glow sandwich technique, I'm taking the liquid highlighter, picking some up on my finger, dab some off, and then I'm going to add it back to the top of my cheekbones. But just look at that glow that it brings the skin again. I just quickly did my brows off screen. Now we're moving on to eyeshadow, and I'm just doing light layers of everything on the eyes just to stick with that technique. For some extra definition, I'm taking this dark brown color and I'm just going to line the top lash line. This is personal preference, but I am just adding a tiny bit of liquid liner by my lash line. Now I'm going to curl and add mascara. So the last technique is actually Lisa's lip lift technique. I'm just going to line my top lip the way I normally do, just by following my natural lip line. And then for your bottom lip, this is where it's super important. Usually it's the bottom lip outer corner right here that points downwards. Use a concealer to fill in this part right here, just to prevent yourself from following that lip line and drawing that downward smile. And instead, stop right here. So before you get to the concealer, like that. It'll just make your lips look a little bit more happy. Now for some color on the lips, I'm just filling in my lips with Lisa's refillable lipstick. This makeup definitely looks way more lifelike and more natural than my usual going out makeup, and I am loving this. I'll definitely be using these techniques more in my usual makeup routine.